Neill Corporation is a huge Aveda distributor. I'm sure some of you women out there in the audience know who Aveda is. And they offer a full suite of salon technology, education, and retail services. As you can see, they've been widely recognized in and around the industry. And Ross was formerly the CTO of Neill Corporation and was responsible for setting the technology direction for the company in addition to the group's technology business. We also have Todd Duclos, who is the Center of Innovation and Excellence lead for Mosaic Company here in Tampa. They are the world's largest supplier of phosphate and potash materials, and they've got 8,000 employees across 8 countries, and they are very widely recognized within the Tampa and the Florida community for contributing a lot of service, a lot of philanthropy to the local community. And Todd has a very big focus on customers as part of his role, as does Ross Neill, and that's why we've selected them both to join us for today's panel as we continue to reiterate that theme of the customer-focused company. Kevin is going to be our moderator for this afternoon's panel, and there will be an opportunity for Q&A after the panel is over. So just take notes, and we'll be happy to make this as interactive as we can.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Alrighty. Battery. Now, is that better? All right, I'm just going to talk really, really loud. I'm not sure if that just stopped working or what. And if it kicks in, let me know and I won't talk as loud. There we go. Now we got it? All right. Anyway. So, I'm back. Sorry to disappoint you. You thought I was done and gone. But I have these 2 lovely gentlemen, and they're going to dominate the conversation for the rest of the afternoon by telling you about all the great and wonderful things that they've each done with Salesforce.com in their organizations. We've kind of created this theme of transformation. So we'll talk a little bit about how they've transformed their businesses through their Salesforce deployment. And let me, without further ado, get right to them. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today. Todd, we'll start with you, just because you're the farthest away, and I have no other rationale. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about your job in Mosaic? I love your title, by the way. I'm kind of usually pretty proud of my title. I'm a customer success manager, and very rarely do people have really cool titles. I love your titles. Tell us a little bit about what you do and your role at Mosaic.
So the title is just because I have a degree in technology and innovation management, and I spent a lot of money on it. So I said every title I have from now on has to have innovation in the name of it. So it's part of my contract, so that's why.
I love it. I love it.
So at Mosaic, we started with Salesforce about 2.5 years ago. We rolled out North America first, followed by all of our international offices in Latin America, China, India. We have about 700 users or so on the system, and we use it to basically run our sales operations, and it's transformed the way, in the theme of transformation, it's transformed the way that we handle our supply chain and operational planning. So before, we're a big SAP shop, we're integrated fully with SAP, and one of the great things that we did as part of the system was to rebrand it. So people don't know it as Salesforce, they know it as a product called Affinity. So within Mosaic, people talk about Affinity, they don't even know that Salesforce is part of it. We also have reporting tools and BI tools that are plugged into Affinity that are from other technologies, and that way they don't know that there's a different tool running those reports for them. And we've built custom applications to manage our planning process around what do our customers want to buy from us over the course of the year, what have we already delivered to them, and where are we in relation to that current plan versus the initial plan. And what happened is we did that all through SAP before we started with Salesforce, and with these custom apps, we determined that this was doing a better job in maintaining a consistent view of that ebb and flow of demand, and have now integrated the Salesforce part of it into our planning side in the ERP. So Salesforce is actually driving our planning cycle as a result of the efforts of the custom apps and things like that.
Just 2.5 years?
Yeah, 2.5 long years, no sleep.
Very innovative.
We had partner help, so that helps, and we had excellent, support, and the company treats it as a strategic app, but that doesn't come at first. So those of you that are saying, oh, I wish my company did that, understand you have to keep having that conversation, and eventually they will start to treat you as a strategic app, as the rest of the business says, I can't live without this. When we started, that wasn't the conversation. It was, okay, you just go do your little thing over here and leave us alone. But now it has become a strategic app within the company.
I think we're definitely going to come back to that. I think it's a great theme to talk about in terms of the theme of transformation is what it means when you're strategic versus tactical, and how that changes your approach. But I also wanted to introduce Ross, who has also done some really great things with Salesforce, and it sounds like with the help of Configuro. Jody was very proud of some of the accomplishments that you guys have had. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself, your company, and your Salesforce journey.
Yes, so we actually use Salesforce in 3 different parts of our enterprise. We started off using it in our software company, Neill Technologies. They make salon biz and spa biz software, which is appointment book, point of sale, management software for salons and spas, which is the area of the company that I really worked in the most. And actually they did this while I went off to college and took a sabbatical and got a master's in analytics. So that's why there's analytics in my title, because I have a master's in analytics.
Wait, I'm sensing a real, does anyone else have like their degree in their title under their employment contract?
I highly recommend it, you should.
Yeah, but now I'm thinking that may not be impressive enough. I'm thinking about moving to data scientist. That's the hot,
that is like
the hot new one. Then I can actually take that one.
Yeah, I've got a young son, and he's like, what should I be when I grow up? And I'm like, data scientist sounds like the coolest new title.
That's it, I know all about it. So.
Nice, I'm gonna send him to you.
So they did it in the software company, and then they also did it in the distribution company, Aveda Sales. It's really a classic sales model, selling B2B distribution to salons. We're really the largest private Aveda distributor. Aveda is owned by Estee Lauder. Most distribution's done by Aveda, but in the Southeast, we handle distribution along with a partner in Florida who we do fulfillment for. And so that's a fairly classic sales model. And then the part of the business that I'm most involved with, which is really a huge part of our business now, a growing part of our business, and a very profitable part, are the beauty schools, Aveda Institutes. And there's 17 of those. And so the process that we're doing in Salesforce right now, we've started off with the admissions process. So from the lead, leads coming in web to lead to us from the web. That's, students, they go, I want to go to beauty school. They Google it, they find us. They do a web to lead form, then we start to contact them with admissions all the way through they start school. So the whole process of working with them to get all their paperwork for their financial aid, get everything done, everything signed, sealed, and then making sure they don't disappear between then and the start of school. And then the start of school. And then the next part that we're doing is going to be the placement afterwards. So we're sort of working around both ends of it. And then actually we've talked to Configuro, and they've done a little pilot project to test it, of the part in the middle where we handle the attendance, the storing of the grades and everything. And one of the things that we really like about it is that, we're fairly geographically diverse. We have 18 locations spread over the Southeast and all the way actually to DC is one of our locations. And sort of taking them and having them all work together, be able to support each other, work on one system has been really great. And from anywhere we are, we can see what's going on in every location. So that's what we're excited about. We're really sort of building upon our success and moving forward, and really using it to not only store and process data, but also to help us with process improvement. That is we can really make Salesforce model the process improvements we make in the admissions department, so that we make sure we don't lose people, and that the potential students are really taken care of and followed up on.
So for me, that, in my experience is doing this for ever. You touched on almost the same exact thing and said it in an entirely different way. You're going from taking this as a place where I store data, making it a place where you make business decisions. and then on top of it are able to leverage